Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Movie Corner podcast presented by Non-Fiction Film Studios. My name is Devyn.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Kieran.
And this is the first episode of our podcast where we're going to talk about movies, trailers, TV shows at some point, and any other pop culture stuff going on over here in Hollywood with those crazy-ass people. But how you guys doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm a little tired. Jameson keeps looking like he wants to say something as soon as I started talking, so that's something.
Kieran, what do you want to say?
My butt itches.
Okay, I'm glad we recorded that. This is gonna be I'll be honest with you, everybody. This is gonna be a train wreck, but it's gonna be a fun one. We're gonna make it entertaining. We're gonna talk about some fun movies. Ben, would you like to talk about the theme of this episode?
Yeah, absolutely. Pride Month is done, but Pride's still around. We still are. Yeah, exactly. My gay ass is happy about it. And we're going to be doing LGBTQ plus movies. I will admit, these two movies, there are so many. These two happen to be about gay men exclusively, which really we probably should have thought about a bit more in advance. But they're two phenomenal movies, one of which is an absolute classic. The other one is an indie darling.
Yeah. So one of the movies that we're reviewing, I've never seen. The other one, this is probably my second time viewing. And I've only ever heard good things about the first movie we're going to review in a bit. And the second movie we're going to review is considered quite a classic and is probably more sadly remembered as it being like... what happened? They misread the Oscar nom for La La Land.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
oh my god, that sucked.
I hate to like stir up rumors or anything, but who did that? Do you remember who read that award?
No, who?
It was what the fuck is her name? It was like some old actress lady. Not Joy Behar. I think that she's
Jessica
dead.
Walter.
No, it wasn't Jessica. R.I.P.
Yeah, that old lady, Jessica Walter.
Jessica Walter would never mess us up because either way, I don't remember the lady's name.
Friend of the gays,
But
Jessica Walter.
yeah, she. I honestly think it's a racial thing. I felt that was kind of a racial thing because she picked the musical with all the white people in it, and then it's like, and then really the movie about the gay black kid actually won.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was just something I saw, and I was like,
I mean, like, the devil does not need an advocate, but to play devil's advocate a little bit,
she's old.
Well, yeah, but also like Moonlight, like as good as it is, it wasn't a super talked about movie in the same way La La Land was. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of probably contributed to, in people's vision of what was going to happen, I think a lot of people assumed La La Land was going to wind up just absolutely sweeping.
Well, yeah, because it just totally like it's totally tailor made for an Oscar movie. It's Oscar bait. It was a total 100%. Oscar bait movie. But yeah, because like Moonlight kind of came out of nowhere. Which, by the way, that's one of the movies we're reviewing. We're also going to do Birdcage. We'll get to those in the sec.
We probably should have introduced the movies we were going to talk about.
We probably should have.
But you know,
but
what?
I was going
to
do a whole thing where we were going to introduce the movies when we got there.
Yeah.
But here we are. Yeah, those are the movies we're reviewing. But before we get to the movie reviews, I want to talk about some trailers because I've been wanting to talk about some trailers real quick. We don't have the technology to just play them right now, do we?
No.
No, right? We can't just play them?
Not easily.
Not easily? All right. Well, we'll figure it out. Like I said, everyone, this is the first episode. We're still working on some stuff. So I just wanted to talk about... these aren't... Unfortunately, I'm unaware of a lot of LGBT movies coming out. I apologize for that. So I don't know if there's any coming out at the moment.
I don't remember any coming out. Like,
I haven't been keeping up on trailers in a while. I'm not going to lie to you.
Legit, I only found these trailers because they just popped up on my Instagram randomly.
Yeah.
So the one trailer I just want to talk about real quick, they dropped the Black Adam trailer, which is starring The Rock. If you guys care about that, essentially
of Moana fame.
Yeah, Yep.
Yes, that's the only thing he's
famous
famous for. Is Moana.
Yep. Jameson's a real movie buff.
No, yeah, he really.
I keep
This guy-
calling him the wrong name.
Look. Here's the one thing you got to know about our producer here, Kieran.
Yes.
He's a great man. He's a wonderful person, but he's unculturally inclined, I guess would be the.
He's not a pop culture fanatic.
No, he's not.
That's
He doesn't.
not his thing.
He doesn't watch a lot of movies. He doesn't watch a lot of TV shows. Plays a lot of video games though.
I tend to play tic-tac-toe while everyone's playing movies, so...
Are you 85 years old?
What just happened?
I also want to point out he is the weirdest person in the world. He told us,
I love that everyone's just gonna hear this.
yeah, less than 5 minutes before we started recording, he decided his name was Kieran.
That's why Ben here is calling him by his other name, but he's encouraged us to call him Kieran.
Yes.
Which I'm surprisingly doing.
Name
Yeah, I
changes
don't
are
know
never
how.
easy.
Huh?
Name changes are never easy.
No.
That's the funny thing, though, is that, like, I mean, I feel like of the three of us, I've known the most people who've changed their names. And I've never had a problem with it, except with this guy, because he does it every couple months. And so I just call him the same name that I've always known him as.
Wait. Okay. So I actually have a funny story about this. It kind of fits in with Pride Month. So we have a lot of like similar friends that are like non-binary,
LGBTQ+.
transgender, and or just gay or lesbian. We have a lot of friends like that. One of my friends, they're non-binary, and they did go through a name change, and I've been good with the name for a while, but for some reason, it was like a couple months ago, I ran into them. It was the last time I saw them, and for some reason, I decided to dead name them. Like, I didn't mean to. It just came out.
Here's the thing, like, pro tip, by the way, because people, have issues with it, and, not to cut you off, but I do think this is kind of, like, learning experience, conversation time. Honestly, like, what you do when you do that, a lot of people, I think especially cis allies, get very quick to sort of like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Just go, shit, sorry, and then say the right name. You don't, or don't even say sorry. Just
no. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
As soon as I said it, I was like, shit. Yeah, and I said the right name.
yeah, and that's all you got to do. You don't have to make it a big deal. Honestly, some people even say that like apologizing at all is a problem because people's instincts is usually to say it's okay, and you don't want to be like, yeah, I encourage this. I encourage you to misgender.
No, they just
me.
messed with me the whole time, and whenever one of our friends showed up, they're like, Devyn dead named me. Like, I didn't mean to. But yeah, I thought that was
This is the transphobic podcast.
yeah.
Swerf and Turf Pod.
It's my favorort meal.
Okay, this is
Love
just gone off
J.K.
the
Rowling.
rails, guys. What was I talking about? The trailer?
Yeah.
You're talking about a trailer.
The one with the rock.
Black Adam. Yeah, so Black Adam's. I don't know. It's another fucking random DC film that Warner Brothers is doing because they have no fucking idea what they're doing over there. They're just like, oh, we have The Rock. He's gonna be the bad guy for Shazam. Well, since we have The Rock, why don't we just make a movie about him? Even though he's a bad guy.
And the Joker did really well.
The Joker's different.
But that's the problem, though, is I feel like a lot of things are trying to capitalize on the Joker.
Oh, absolutely, that's what they were doing. Because the Joker wasn't made like a comic book movie. The Joker was made like an actual. It was made like a real movie.
Yeah.
It was made like if you just took out the name and took out the face paint, like the iconic face paint of the Joker, like you still would get a pretty darn good movie about a man diving into his what is the becoming a psycho or just losing it because society has just kept tossing him aside. But then we would just get Taxi Driver.
I think the one downside to Joker and movies like it is unfortunately just the fact that like and we're obviously, because we're talking about Moonlight, I assume going to talk about toxic masculinity in our society's
Absolutely, we
relationship
are.
with masculinity. But I think it's funny because Joker is such a well-made movie when it's isolated. But when you take it outside of isolation, what you find is a lot of really unhappy men who are quick to turn the fact that life isn't going well for them into the fault of everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very quick to identify with this character who you're supposed to be able to identify with him a bit. You're supposed to be able to empathize with him, but you're not supposed to watch it and say, this is me. What he's doing is good. What he's doing is right. Because that's inherently the opposite of what the movie is trying to teach us in the first place.
The movie is just trying to teach us how, like, society has handled people like Arthur and just people in general like that. Low-income people who are dealing with mental issues or just like
Everyone
not
here,
able
in
to
other words.
everyone in this room or not getting the medicine and whatnot. It's more of the failure. It's not about him, and you shouldn't honestly agree with him, but I can see where it can come from. It's more about the failure of society and how, like,
we create villains.
Yeah, essentially. That's what I loved about the movie.
And I can definitely identify with that, with this idea of, like, maybe not all the bad guys from our society are actually bad guys. They're just forced into these positions where they have to do bad things.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what the Joker was, man. Which kind of goes into the news of they know they're doing a sequel, right?
Yes, I was glad that we were able to segue into that.
Yeah, right? By the way, I'm not excited for the Black Adam movie. Just go ahead.
Yeah, you didn't seem like you were.
No, I'm not. I love The Rock, but I've given up on DC.
Yeah, I feel that.
They, like, burn it down. My whole thing is burn it down, start over.
Yeah.
All right. Good. But yeah, you're back to
like for me personally, the Joker was great, and I think Lady Gaga is very talented, and I think she is a good actress. Like, I think her acting style is really good. Like, I haven't seen her in anything that I was super disappointed by. I haven't seen her in a lot, but, like, I think she was the one thing that I enjoyed about American Horror Story Hotel. Well, her and Evan Peters' character, I thought he really... like, something about that whole transatlantic, like, I love that.
Yeah.
But as much as I am excited to see her as Harley Quinn, I'm not excited to. Well,
let me just say. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but right now, as far as I know, that is a rumor. They haven't.
Yeah.
They haven't fully confirmed. I think they're just in talks with it because they're doing this weird thing where they want to make it into a musical.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's why they're getting Lady Gaga.
Okay.
But I'm just like, sorry, I just screamed in the mic. But I'm sorry, go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're totally fine. And, like, because everything I heard about it made it sound as if that was a fact, that was confirmed. But, like, honestly, that was the only thing that sounds even kind of good about it to me. Not because of anything other than the fact that this is not a movie that needs a sequel. It's not a movie that I feel would benefit from a sequel. The sequel could wind up being great, but I think the odds of that feel kind of slim. It doesn't feel like it's something that is going to turn into... I don't think it's going to improve upon the original piece. I think if you really wanted to do a series out of this, if you wanted to make more, one thing that they could start doing is doing other villain origin stories. I think that would be cool, where we kind of put a twist on it that is a bit more modern. We put a twist on it that tells an actual story about our society. That would be a cool way to do things, you know? But I don't think that's what they want to do, because they know that Joaquin Phoenix sells, because they know that this one story that
Joker
already exists sells. Exactly. And all they want to do is try to sell that rather than, you know, making some sort of statement on society and making it so that we can see all of these different ways in which villains are created, you know?
That actually would be pretty cool. Like, if you could just put these villains in comic books and put them in, like, realistic situations that end up driving them to become the villain that they end up becoming. Like, for example, if you did that Deadshot movie that they planned on doing a while ago, what if you did it where maybe he was struggling to take care, like, you do an origin where he becomes Deadshot and he's struggling to take care of his daughter, and because his wife is I don't remember and the wife and whatnot, and he ends up having to kill someone, and then you can follow him in his journey of like his first kill and whatnot, and then having to deal with the repercussions of it. Maybe more different jobs. Maybe a job doesn't go so well for him. I want to just see him kind of like evolve into the character within these realistic parameters. That's why I like Logan so much too, because that's what Joker reminded me of. Was like
I can see
Logan in that sense.
I think that's the only like
That's really the only comic book movie that matches up to Joker.
exactly. I mean, I guess you could argue maybe V for Vendetta in certain
But
regards.
okay, but V for Vendetta is still rather comic booky.
Yeah,
It's
is.
very
It
comic booky.
absolutely is. In tone, they're not similar. I would even argue that Logan and Joker are not that similar in terms of tone,
no,
though, by any means. But
I'm just saying in the sense of like the
it
style.
not feeling, yeah, absolutely. And I think to me, it's more so like the way they kind of handle the statement artistically feels similar to V for Vendetta. But I agree, absolutely. Like they're not. I would not say, oh, if you like one, you're gonna love the other. Like that's not.
Yeah.
You know. But we are 16 minutes in. Do you think we should get to the movies? Or do you have anything else to add? Any trailers you want to talk about?
I'd like to add to the Joker conversation.
Okay, absolutely.
Because we have time to do the movie
Yeah.
reviews. I'm actually really upset that they're doing a sequel. I actually get really mad when these studios, a movie does really well for them,
Yeah.
and it really doesn't need a sequel. Like Joker is a perfect example for that for me.
Absolutely.
And it's just like they're only doing it because it made a ton of money and it got a lot of good reviews. Mainly, it made a ton of money. That's the only
Absolutely.
reason they're doing it.
It's a big
And they
money
di-
grab.
That's all it is. The sequel is a pure money grab.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
mind sequels. It's not like I have an issue with them. I just don't like a lot of sequels because all they are nowadays is just a fucking money grab.
Well, also, I think if there's like more to be said, then make a sequel.
Yeah,
But, like,
but
I feel like with Joker, everything was
it was
said.
said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? I mean, yeah, he's in the hospital. He's in Arkham now. He's now like just killing random people in there. He's the Joker now.
Yeah.
What more is there to be said?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Unless you're gonna bring in Batman, which they haven't said anything about that.
And I don't want them to.
I don't want them to either. I don't even want them to do the sequel.
No.
But like and the reason they're also doing is because Joaquin said he would be down
Yeah.
if the script was right.
Yeah.
And Todd Phillips is gonna do the script. He's just writing it by himself. He had another person write the other script with him. I forget the name of the guy, but it's like something Silver or something. But I don't know, man. Like you just like that movie just caught lightning in a bottle. Like it was just so well made. Like it amazes me because that movie is done by Warner Brothers that they can actually put up stuff like that, even though like they tend to fuck everything they do up.
Well, Warner Brothers is a good movie company. I think if you look at their array of things that they've done a lot of really good things, and they've also had different companies that were under their umbrella make some really great pictures. But the problem is that Warner Brothers right now, especially, I think they're in a situation where they have a money vacuum because they were for, well over a decade putting out Harry Potter stuff. Mm-hmm. There's no more Harry Potter stuff to put out. I mean, yeah, you've got like the fucking Grindelwald thing or whatever.
No one cares.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, everyone. No one cares.
I'm a
Yeah.
huge Harry Potter fan, and I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
But Michaela's a big fucking Harry Potter fan,
yeah.
and she can give two shits about it.
And also,
Yeah.
Ben and I are like majorly boycotting J.K. Rowling.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's fair. Go ahead. Just for Pride Month.
Just
in
for
general.
Pride Month. Yeah, I was
Every
gonna
Pride
say,
month.
We
Every
gotta
month
bring
in
that up.
general.
every
Don't
month is
forget,
Pride Month
everybody.
when I'm
J.K.
around.
Rowling's an asshole.
Yeah. But and like for me with movies like that, I also I'm at a point where I'm so exhausted by everything having to be comic book related. I was exhausted by the existence of Joker before I saw it, and it was good. But like I'm so tired of everything having to be
comic
contained
book.
within and specific types of comic books usually too, because they have to be recognizable enough for the most part that people care about them, that people are going to rush to see it. Like no one ever talks about anymore how Guardians of the Galaxy was a huge gamble for
Yeah.
Marvel to do because. And now everyone knows about it.
Did any of you guys know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were before the movie?
I
came
did.
out?
But
I did not.
How much did you know?
Like I used to read the comic books from the 80s.
You read the comic books?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, and it came out like on my birthday or the day before my birthday.
No shit.
And, yeah, and I was super hyped, and I kept telling my friends like, we're gonna go see it. It's totally gonna happen, and then we ended up just like hanging out that day, and none of us
Not
had
even
money
went
to
to
go
the
to the
movies.
movies. I was so pissed. I was like, dude, this is all I wanted.
I watched it with my brother on my birthday, and his whole thing was I was gonna buy your movie as long as you don't get stoned before the movie.
So you
Let me
got
guess, you
super
got
high.
So I got like so blitz
Yeah,
and watched this movie.
that sounds about right.
My brother forced me to watch the movie because I really did not have any like. I had no reservation to watch it because I was like, who the fuck are any of these people? And this is also before I watched Parks and Rec. So
Yeah.
I didn't even know who Chris Pratt was.
Oh God.
I knew Zoe Saldana and Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
I knew Zoe Saldana from Avatar. I knew Dave Bautista because he's Dave Bautista.
Bautista,
Yeah.
So, and then I went. So my brother watched the movie, and then he's like, "We're gonna go see Guardians of the Galaxy tomorrow again." I'm like, "Again?" Like, yeah. And he dragged me over there, and it's still probably one of my favorite Marvel.
Almost
movies.
definitely.
Yeah,
But
it's great.
I want to. We'll move on to the reviews, and I'll move on to another trailer, and then to the reviews.
Get to
real quick.
something more gay friendly than Chris Pratt.
Yeah, of course. Ooh.
It's getting aggro. This is the aggro
Oh
podcast.
man. Ah, Chris.
And today
I like
we're
his work, though. He has a
sponsored
great
by
body.
homophobia.
What church does he go to again? It's like a very
that-
homophobic
yes,
church.
it is.
But wait, he's not.
Here's the thing. I don't know about his.
He doesn't say a
personal-
lot of stuff
No,
like this.
he's very quiet when it comes to stuff like that. And honestly, if that is his take, I think it's the best take he could have to keep that quiet. I will say, I think there's something to be said.
Keep the
for,
facade going.
Yeah, there's something
Wait
to
till you're 60 like every other crazy old actor now. Like,
all the
what the fuck?
comedians, my
Like
God.
James Woods.
Oh jeez. Okay, but James Woods is just an insane person in a way that I'm like, it's fun to watch. At least.
Did you know he played Rudy Giuliani in a Giuliani Drake to DVD
Yes, I did.
movie?
I saw
Oh
that.
man,
Uh-huh.
it's so weird.
I'm here for it.
Did his hair dye melt off?
No, I didn't. This is before Rudy just became a demon.
Yeah. Back when he just kind of sucked.
It's essentially about after 9/11. It's about 9/11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Afterwards.
So like
so then
Patriot
I was
Act and shit.
IMDb, and I was like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Bro, it was
That's the
weird.
only
I
reason
saw a
knew
clip of
about
it, and I was just like, first off, he doesn't even look like Rudy Giuliani. And also, why did they make Rudy Giuliani look like he's like 7 feet tall? He's like your height. man.
Famously tall
Rudy
Giuliani.
Giuliani. He's like your height.
Yeah. Me, Rudy Giuliani, Frankie Muniz, we're all 7'8".
Dude, I just saw Frankie Muniz on a TV show where he had to sing.
Oh my
I
god.
was at the
Oh,
bar.
I
and they were-
want to see
Bro,
that.
I was at the bar and it was on. We couldn't hear it, of course, but he was bald.
Yeah, no,
I
he's
definitely
bald now.
want to see that.
All right.
Dude, I highly recommend his Twitter. You remember Cisco?
Yeah,
Muniz?
you were telling me about that.
You remember
Francisco
Cisco
Muniz.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been dead naming him. His name is Cisco Muniz.
Yeah,
now.
Cisco Muniz.
He decided to change what he goes by to Cisco, but decided not to tell anyone except Twitter, and then kind of like brought it up 2 more times and has quietly decided to go back to Frankie.
Wait, so he's back to Frankie?
He's referred to himself as Frankie a couple times. I don't know what the deal is. I do my best to keep up on his Twitter. It's the only reason I made a
love
Twitter
that for
account. It's the only reason I made a Twitter account.
Anyways, one more movie trailer thing. I just wanted to talk about. They're doing another Predator movie. If you guys
Oh,
heard,
hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
There,
Why
it's
are you
called-
saying hell yeah, Kieran? You have not seen any of them.
you've never seen any of the Predator movies.
No.
No,
You see what I'm talking about, everybody?
Yeah, he has no idea anything about movies.
I'm more into the like aesthetic.
His favorite movie's The Wall.
Actually, my
isn't
favorite
The
movie
Wall,
is
but he
Blues
does
Brothers.
love The Wall.
It's the
Which is a
Blues
great
Brothers.
movie.
Okay.
You gotta watch it. It's good.
I know. I haven't seen the Blues Brothers.
It's real good. It's got,
Watch
Hey,
everyone in
there's
the
gotta be,
watch
like,
everyone. If anyone, when everyone hears this, they're gonna be all like, "You've never seen the Blues Brothers." I think they're gonna be more mad about that than him not seeing Predator.
Yeah. But your beard is rubbing against the
I
mic.
know. Yeah,
Yep.
I gotta be careful. My beard is glorious.
But
And also, move your head with the mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm trying to.
You're moving your head.
I know, yeah.
You're like going silent.
I know how mics work.
Am I doing okay? I'm trying to be. Okay, right here. Okay.
So yeah, they're doing another Predator movie. It's actually going to be done by the same dude that did 12 Cloverfield Lane. If you guys saw that movie, that's probably the best movie out of that weird Cloverfield franchise that they did for a minute. If anyone remembers that they did that was really weird.
Yeah, I
But
think a lot of us remember it as a fever dream.
it's a fever dream. I like that one, and so the same guy that did that is doing this, and this one takes place in like I don't know the year, but it's where the Native Americans are essentially still around, and
Because no Native Americans are around anymore.
they're around. You
They
know what I
stopped
mean.
existing.
You know what I mean.
We killed them all. We succeeded.
You with your
Jesus
complexion should
Christ.
not be saying
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say you're too pasty for
You're too pasty to be
for
saying that.
genocide jokes. You can make one type of you can make two types of genocide jokes, and that's it.
You can only get away with
because
maybe
you're
a
an Irish
Holocaust
Jew,
joke
so
because
you
you're
can make-
Jewish.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's an Irish Jew. He can make
Yeah.
two types of
Oh, okay.
two types of. Well, there are two types of Holocausts, but you can make.
Well, wait. What happened in Ireland? I thought it was just the potato
we'll
famine.
talk about that.
Oh,
That's another day, huh?
podcast.
That's
topic
another day.
entirely.
That's
Yeah.
another day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, this movie follows a young Native American woman who is trying to prove herself worthy as a hunter. She goes out hunting, almost gets killed by a bear, but then the bear gets wrecked by a predator. This is essentially a prequel to all the Predator movies, and it looks really good.
That
Like,
sounds awesome.
what better person for the Predator to take on than a tribe of natives?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a really good movie. I've actually been thinking about it, and I wish Jay was here for it because I know he's seen the Predator. You've seen the Predator movies, right? Well, okay. So here's one thing I want to say. I think Predator may be the only old franchise that still kicks it around that's actually good.
Yeah, I would say that for me, Predator movies can get kind of hit and miss. But I think in general, like, if someone says, hey, there's a new Predator movie out, I'm more than ready and willing to go watch it.
Yeah.
Even if just because you never know. That's my take on it anyway.
Well, my whole thing is, and you guys know me, I like a movie that does something new, especially if it's a franchise. I like it when it decides to lean into like a new direction.
Yeah.
And Predator has always kind of done that.
That's true.
With the first one, it was in the jungle, and then the second one, they're like, let's put it in L.A.
Yeah.
Then the third one, which isn't really the third one, the Robert Rodriguez produced one with Adrian Brody. That one was kind of cool too because they just took all these killers and special agents from Earth and just threw them on a hunting planet, basically.
Fun.
It's dope, dude. Like that may be my favorite Predator movie, if I'm being honest. I think a lot of people kind of shit on it, but I think it's really good. And I haven't seen the Shane Black one, but I've read a bunch of negative shit about it. That like the writing's just like I've heard that it's just tonally off for what it's trying to offer. I do need to watch it. Maybe we'll do a review of that at some point. But they're always trying to do something new. With
and
these
it always
Predator
triggers
movies.
your inner 12-year-old. Like, there's something about, like,
Yes.
where you just think back to, like, being a kid, like, fucking eating, like, a bowl of sugary cereal, watching a movie of just, like, absolute just leaning into what the audience wants.
Yeah.
It is very much, like, it doesn't try to be something it's not in that regard. It'll have a message. It'll have all of that. But really, what it is just fun viewing.
Yeah, that's what that's why I feel like the Predator movies always nailed.
Yeah.
They never try to do like a message or do something or make a statement with the movies. It's just people fighting crazy alien. That's all it is, and that's all it ever had to be.
Yeah.
The only time they fucked up on that, where they did meet expectations, was the first Alien vs. Predator. Actually, both of the Alien vs. Predator movies.
They were fun, though.
The first one's
fun.
okay. The second one is just more... I appreciated the violence in it more than
Yeah.
anything. But it was so fucking dark.
It was dark, but
Dude, I
still
couldn't
had
even see the
fun.
Pred alien. The Pred alien.
Yeah.
Like, what the clearest picture of that thing is a behind-the-scenes picture. And it sucks. But, yeah. I'm excited for Prey. I think it's going to be pretty good.
Do you think it's going to be offensive to Native Americans?
No, I because it looks like they actually got some people who are native to do it. I have to do a little bit more research. I just watched the trailer and whatnot.
Well, that's the thing. There's this image of Native Americans that is like almost like a monolithic culture of like everyone, all Native Americans like live in teepees and hunt buffalo.
I think they're going more hunter-gatherer.
Okay.
Which is a little bit more accurate.
I think there are different ways they could do it. I think I will withhold judgment until it's out, you know, sort of give it a chance to exist, because I'm not going to lie, when you were describing it, there was a part of my brain that was like, this can go one of two ways.
Oh, no, it could definitely go one of two ways. It could lean into where the girl ends up on the spaceship.
Yeah.
Which I honestly, if they do that, I will be mad.
That sounds... No, I would watch it immediately if that was...
Keep it simple. Just keep it that there's one predator out in the fields, in the woods, murking everybody, and this girl is going to prove herself to her tribe by killing it.
Yeah.
That just keep it... Like the fucking first Predator movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it?
In the first one?
Yeah.
Oh. I heard it was in Vietnam. Is that right?
What?
Wasn't it in Vietnam?
No.
Oh my god.
Wasn't this a Vietnam movie?
In Costa Rica, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like Costa Rica or something.
A lot of those
movie.
movies are allegories for Vietnam, but like no.
Well, because the first one, the whole point of the first one is with the characters are like these testosterone-fueled like meatheads, you know, like generic action hero types, you know.
Yeah.
And it plays off those tropes for like the first half hour. And then they all of a sudden just get fucking annihilated when this predator shows up. So really, it's kind of funny because you see these like generic, stereotypical roughneck, juice head, badass soldiers just get fucking annihilated one by
Squad
one.
2 level, like.
Yeah, it was Suicide Squad 2 level. It's fucking great.
I love it.
Yeah, you guys got anything else?
No, I think
all right.
We're at a good time to move on to the actual reviews.
All right. Hold on, let me grab my notes here, guys. This is so much like when I did the live stream. Hold on, let me get my notes. So the first movie we're going to talk about, guys, is Birdcage.
Hell yeah.
Came out in 1996, which was the year I was born. Came out 2 months before I was born. It was directed by Mike Nichols, written by Ellen May. It's based off actually a French play that I forgot to write the name for. That's awesome. It stars.
Oh,
is that what?
I'm mispronouncing it, but yeah.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome. There you go. Actually, I read the quick synopsis on it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's very much this movie."
Yep.
Say that title again, Ben.
Nope, we're not doing that because I have a speech impediment that comes out more with French.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I just didn't hear
Just
it.
Lacage.
And
it's frequently called.
The movie stars Robin Williams, the late great Robin Williams, Gene
R.I.P.
Hackman, and Nathan Lane, and my favorite person who I always love seeing, Frank Kazarian. Hank Kazarian, sorry. Hank.
Yeah, Hank Kazarian.
I said Frank.
Yeah, you did. Your favorite person, Frank.
My favorite person, Frank.
Hank Kazarian. I've always loved Hank Kazarian in a lot of the roles. And he always seems to find himself playing a pretty stereotypical foreigner.
Yeah.
Because remember, he played Apu for like a long time.
He did.
Which
was interesting.
I mean, I didn't.
No,
it
like,
didn't
I mean,
bother
it wasn't,
me, but I can see where the red flag is.
Yeah.
I can.
That's, yeah. But
bring back Apu though. There's got to be a funny Indian dude.
Yeah.
Like, what's his name? What's his name?
Oh, are you talking about? God damn it! Now I'm forgetting his name, and I really like him. I like his comedy.
God. Oh, Camille Nanjiani.
Oh yeah.
I don't think. I don't think he's Indian though.
I don't know if he is. I'm not super familiar with his work. Like, I mean, I know about. Like, I know
he's
of
pretty
him,
funny.
Yeah.
I think he could do that.
Obviously, it's Aziz Ansari.
He's from North Carolina. I think.
Oh right, I
he's
forgot.
Born here.
Yeah,
he's not from
I mean,
India.
but I feel like even it, like, because.
But he could.
Because his parents are, from there, so I feel like
he could do it, but he got canceled.
Yeah, he did.
Which I'm not gonna get into that.
No,
we're not. This isn't that podcast. But yeah, so it follows this gay couple. they're like drag queens. One owns a drag. They own a drag show club where the wife is the headliner, and their son comes home. Well, Robin Williams' son comes home and tells him that I'm getting married, and he's getting married to a girl whose father is a very much a conservative Republican senator, and they want to meet them.
Yeah,
and they have to play it straight.
Yeah, and the whole reason, the real irony of it, in my opinion, is the fact that the son is trying to basically force his parents, who raised him and love him and, have been in his life his entire life and all of that, to seem more, quote unquote, sort of traditional, morally upstanding by that societal norm, which is super fucked up. And the irony of it is that they're trying to impress someone who is, the senator who is trying to get out of Dodge because one of his staff members was found dead?
He was found dead with a young girl.
A
black young girl.
Sex
they made that
worker.
specific.
Yes, which just really touches on
so many things.
Yeah,
so many things it touches on.
Because
I couldn't help but watch this movie and be like, oh, so this is like the senator is like a parody of Republicans now.
Yeah, and it also goes to show that something that I think we weren't talking as much about as a society at this point is that we're far quicker to defend rape apologists than people living their lives not hurting anyone.
Damn, yeah. That sucks.
And also something that I find in life in general is that people want to compartmentalize being gay. As if you can turn it on and off like a light.
That was the main reason I hated the sun.
Yeah, okay.
The sun was such big.
The sun was definitely the antagonist of the story.
Yeah, and he wasn't meant to be.
See, you know what? I didn't look at it that way, but that does make a lot of sense.
Because he's not treated as an antagonist. He's very much treated as sympathetic. But a reviewer who I absolutely love, Matt Baum.
Shout out to Matt Baum.
I love you,
yeah,
Matt
Baum is the shit.
He
Dibs.
is... Jesus. He is absolutely phenomenal. But he did a video where he very much talks about how the son is the villain of the movie in a lot of ways. How in a traditional movie, and if this movie were made now, someone behaving like him would absolutely be punished. They would get their comeuppance. If a parent were treating their child the way this child is treating his parents, 100% you would just be waiting until the end of the movie when something terrible happens to them and it's deserved.
Yeah, I was actually kind of happy that when Robin Williams reluctantly goes with the plan and starts getting rid of shit. I like that they kept that tension with him and the son for a bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That where he's just like, don't talk to me for a while.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, spicy.
Yeah.
That was really good. Because usually in 90s movies, comedies like that, usually the parent just gets over it.
Okay.
Well, okay, I guess I'll just be straight then.
Me? I love being abused by my son. It's my favorite.
I'll just be straight then. It's fine.
This is so zany.
Anything for you, son.
Yeah. It's just, it's so ridiculous. It's so, and the thing is that if it weren't for that kind of an oversight, but honestly, it still works. It's such a good movie for a lot of reasons. I think one of the big things is the fact that Nathan Lane's character is first of all, phenom. I love Nathan Lane so much. You cannot say enough good things about that man.
I love his character in this movie.
And his character is so great because this was my introduction to Nathan Lane in live action things. And I immediately fell in love. And it really plays into the fact that drag, as we think about it now, is very much guys performing a certain art, or not.
And
when we think of drag
is
queens,
really into his art.
He is, but also
and super passionate.
The interesting thing is the way the character is portrayed is more like traditional drag, where sometimes it is an art form regardless, but sometimes it's a cis person performing as a gender that they're not. Sometimes it's a trans person who is just performing night scenes because they have more acceptability there. They have a higher hireability rate. You also have people like Nathan Lane's character seems to be, where he falls under that non-binary umbrella in certain ways, because he very much seems to identify with femininity as it being such an integral part to him. He seems almost gender fluid.
Yeah, because he kind of, like, that's what I kind of was thinking, too, because they did refer to Nathan Lane's character as
she.
wife.
Yeah,
and
and
she
wife,
a lot.
and mom.
And mom.
Yeah.
They referred to him a lot as that. And it's got, I'm glad you pointed it out, because I was, like, kind of thinking about it now. Like, I'm looking back on it now. And it's just like, yeah, man, like, yeah, that was kind of like, almost like an like a first, like, look into, like, non-binary, like being non-binary.
Yeah,
in life,
absolutely.
and also, which was pretty cool.
And also, I feel like there's this part of being gay and being in a gay relationship where people think like, oh, one person's the wife, one person's the husband. When in reality, you got like just two
there's
dudes.
such a spectrum on what the situation there is, and the fact that they were willing to have
Roles, I guess, right?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, like in an ideal world, if it were made today, I would want Nathan Lane's character to be played by someone who's non-binary. But I don't think
Ezra Miller.
No, God no, trash. But there are so many other there are so many good non-binary people out
Sure,
there.
there's better.
I'm
sure.
I would really like to see, but I think it still works. I think even still, there is something to be said for, and don't get me wrong, I do not support the casting of, cis people playing trans and non-binary characters. But what I will say with that is that I think that it almost creates a deep sense of empathy to see someone who that is not Nathan Lane's lived experience, as far as I'm aware. I don't know Nathan Lane like that, but like, as far as I'm aware, he's a cis man, and I think that there is something to be said for someone who is cis playing around. First of all, I think everyone should have the opportunity and try to play around with gender to have a greater understanding of themselves. But you're fine.
I'm sorry. I was trying to laugh off camera because the elote man is walking down the street.
The man of my dreams.
He makes me
He's
so
cuddling
excited.
elote in love. Yeah, no, I'm I got a hankering for corn.
Corn and mayo, man.
That really got Devyn.
I'm sorry. This is just too funny now. I know. I didn't
Welcome
want to do
to
it.
Pomona.
You were on a roll. Like, I didn't want to.
No, you're totally fine. But I think the playing around with gender is awesome, and I think everyone should at least see what is going on with them in terms of that, and what feels right. I think that's something that's awesome. I think that's something that I would like to see more of. I also think that getting to see someone playing someone who's so different to them is in many ways very touching, because that he cares about this, even though that's not his personal lived experience as a cis person. That being said,
he did. I did get the feeling that he just kind of went all in.
Absolutely,
and I really
100%.
appreciated it.
I mean, like,
because I feel like if you do that kind of character,
Yeah.
very flamboyant and very much,
yeah,
like,
you kind of have to give it your
almost
all.
like that theater,
And
like,
Nathan Lane
vibe
is
to him.
so that type of person
Yeah.
already. But that being said, if you're trying to cast for any character that is trans or non-binary, don't pick a cis person. Like, we know better now. The trans community has been vocal. We have more access to be able to listen to disenfranchised groups than we previously did, and overwhelmingly, I mean, trans people are not a monolith, but the majority of trans people that I've heard from, that I know personally, that I've seen online, are just like, dude, come on, stop. Don't do that anymore. But that being said, awesome. I love Nathan Lane so much in it. I think he was phenomenal.
I agree. We should probably have, if you're doing a movie where you're gonna have trans people or non-binary people, I feel like you should probably get a person that does that now. Like there's a movie that you would probably like, Tangerine. I think I brought up to you a couple times.
I heard about it.
Yeah, that one is about transgender prostitutes just living your life on the. I think it's the streets of Philly or Baltimore or something. And it's by the same guy who did Florida Project. Yeah. That was a movie I actually did want to watch. Yeah. I should have. I just remembered it right now.
Honestly, I would have been really down to see Florida Project. I've been wanting to see it for a while.
Well, we'll do it.
The movie that we're talking
that was
about,
not the movie we're talking about right now, but it's okay.
Try.
We will do that.
That's what matters in radio.
The only
I got a grade.
The notes I put down. Like I said, I like the parody aspect of the dad, the girl's dad. I really like that.
Yeah, I thought that was very
I just
fun,
love the
very
whole
satirical.
situation, actually.
Absolutely, and I love that you get to see him dick around too. By
the end,
you know, when he's having fun, he's opening his mind. Like,
yo,
that's so
tell
great.
me he didn't look like Homegirl from Golden Girls.
Oh my God, stop! I don't like how accurate that was.
I couldn't remember her name real quick. What? I was like, fuck. What was the tall girl, the tall lady from Golden
B.
Girls?
Arthur.
B. Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. He
Yeah.
looked like B. Arthur.
He did have some B. Arthur energy.
Like as soon as he turned around, I was like,
and then there's Maud.
That's Homegirl. And I was like, thank you for being a friend.
Yeah. No, I feel that now that you pointed it out. I can't unsee it, which is so annoying.
The whole time.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, or at least touch on, is like I'm someone who I love when costuming is done really well. I absolutely adore that.
I love the look of everything.
Yeah, the look of it.
Very
First
colorful.
of all, like cinematically for the time, it's really good for like the fact that it's not. You know, it was a major motion picture, so there's only so much room for experimentation a lot of the time.
Yeah, of course.
But I think visually it was very appealing. You get a lot of color, you get a lot of vibrance.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of use of the of colors, and there's
Absolutely.
a lot of cool like vibrant shots within it and whatnot.
And in my experience as a queer person, holy Jesus, Robin Williams' costumes changed the goddamn game in the way
he had drip.
He
had drip.
Not only did he have
this
drip,
movie.
he dressed like, dude, look at any gay or bisexual like man just walking down the street. Guess what they got? A fucking push broom mustache and a Hawaiian shirt and some cute jean shorts. Like, it's, you know.
No, that's the look. Sometimes, more often than not, I've noticed they're kind of bald.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's
yeah,
what I've seen.
We're describing my brother at this point. I feel so weird for being a bisexual who doesn't wear Hawaiian print shirts. Like,
I figured out what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Hell yeah!
As a
We'll get you a Tommy Bahama shirt.
I like that my birthday's in a month and a half, but
there
Christmas.
You go. Yeah, there you go.
Nope.
I forget your birthday.
No.
Dude, I don't remember
We're calling dibs on Christmas for this.
Okay, fine. I got you for Christmas then. Watch. But,
oh my God.
Yeah, dude, like, no, I was gonna say he just had drip, man.
He absolutely
every outfit he came out in, I was like, damn, he looks good.
And
like,
it's how people dress now, which is so funny because it was a common style for gay people at this point, and I think a lot of straight people are starting to.
Robin
dress
Williams
more
was
and
just
more
ahead of his
like
time,
that.
man.
I mean, the costuming department was technically with that
Well,
one, but I love Robin Williams.
That was also one of my notes. Is Robin Williams?
Robin Williams
awesome.
is just so good in it. It's so heartfelt. It's such a heartfelt.
And it's not, and he doesn't. Like, unlike Nathan Lane, where it's played, because that's just the character, where he's very flamboyant and whatnot.
Yeah, he is somewhat of comic relief.
Yes. While Robin Williams is kind of played, funny enough, straight.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, you could tell, like, he's got the mannerisms, the little things that
where
Robin Williams would be doing, his way he's walking, the motion of his hands and whatnot.
There's something of, I'm so comfortable in my masculinity because I, as a queer person, had to examine it, that I'm willing to do things that are considered feminine because they make me feel more comfortable. And that's something that, you know, is very, like, and it's just,
man, I see, like, I forget because he's just been like so long since he's been. How long has it been since Robin Williams has been gone?
Since we were in high school, right? Like,
I think
it's been over 10 years.
Fuck, has it
no,
really?
No, it has not been over 10 years.
Hold
You
up.
were in college when he died.
Hold up. I'm looking it up. Now. We're gonna figure this out. But yeah, keep it talking, guys.
But the main thing I wanted to talk about with that that costuming choice and all of that is that I read an article a while back because I was wondering, because I started seeing all of these memes saying, you know, how
August 11, 2014. He died like after I graduated. No, a little bit before. No, yeah, after I graduated.
He died when I was still in high school. Cause I'm a year younger than you.
Damn.
But God,
fuck,
that's rough.
it's not
rough,
that's not 10
though.
years then. That's about 8 years
That's
now.
8
Yeah,
years.
yeah, it's been 8.
Fuck.
8 years.
We miss you every day, Rob.
Almost, but yeah.
But yeah, I kind of forget, like, because like honestly, like I haven't seen a lot of Robin Williams movies. I've seen a lot of I've seen Jumanji, I've seen Flubber, I've seen a lot of his like kids movies.
Have you seen
obviously.
Good Will Hunting?
I have not actually.
You
I need to
Oh
watch that though.
It's such a Devyn movie too.
I
Like,
need
it
to
really
watch that
is.
though.
Weren't we
been on my
referencing
list.
that at the bar?
You like about beat? How was it?
How do you like? It
How do you
was-
like them
yeah,
apples?
that's because it's.
That's easy
you-
though. I get that.
Yeah.
That's just shit you find out like just talking to my dad.
Yeah, it's such a good movie, and Minnie Driver is phenomenal because
Or Dead Poets Society. haven't
I
seen
love
that.
Dead
Dead
Poet
Poet
Society. You're more into Dead Poet Society than I am.
Very much
I
so.
love Dead Poet Society.
It like
Kieran
inspired my
is-
life.
Yeah, Kieran is like obsessed with that movie.
My captain.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
yeah, that very much. When we first met, he said that every day.
Was that how he asked you out? Like he
Thank
just stood on that
God,
chair.
no.
My captain.
Thank Christ.
Would
he
you let
did
me
not.
take you to the movies?
I
let
would
me
have
take
said
you on a
no
date.
so fast.
Would you really?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
come on.
yeah, no, I would have said no.
No,
Like,
I was obsessed.
I'm not into dramatics like that. I'm very much just
I
like, hey,
see.
do you want to go on
You-
a date? Like, yep, all right,
That's
tight.
that's one thing I'll say about you is you're very much a straightforward person.
But so is he. In fairness, like I think
No,
a lot
he's
of people,
not.
No, okay.
I
okay,
go
don't get
around.
me wrong.
I
He's
beat
super,
around the
he's
bush.
super fake. Don't get me wrong. Like we were talking earlier about Kieran's fakeness, which is why I brought it up. Which is why I said he's fake. But that being said, like he's not someone who's into like he loves pageantry, but he's not into like touchy-feely relationship stuff either.
That
Like,
kind of grosses me
That's
out.
actually surprising to hear that.
yeah, people always assume that like no, honestly, I was never the most. I always had weird feelings about calling.
I thought I was the
significant
only one
others,
that
like,
was weird about relationships.
Yeah,
No, like
No,
honestly, Ben does a lot
everyone-
more of the like relationship stuff.
Oh
And
yeah,
she's the
he
one who
loves to
like
be
plans
wooed.
it.
I'm very much I play like the traditional masculine role in our relationship in that regard. Like for our first Valentine's Day, I went to the grocery store.
This is now a day
I
in the
bought-
life
yeah,
of Kieran
uh-huh.
and Ben.
I bought sandwich fixins and a bottle of wine, and we went to an orchard to have a picnic because he likes to be wooed and I can't give a shit about Valentine's Day.
I'm dead.
So
I'm fucking dead.
that's our lives.
All right.
But
This has
anyway,
been a moment.
moving, yeah,
This has been a moment.
yeah. But moving back to the movie,
yes.
you know, like part of the reason I wanted to point out like the wardrobe and all of that is because I read this really interesting article talking about how young queer people in general, especially young gay and bisexual people, seemingly mostly bi people, are just like obsessed with Hawaiian print shirts and what's considered like touristy looks. And it
Get me in a straw hat every day.
yeah, you know, that touristy straw hat.
You see, that's all. That's how you spot a tourist. They're
Yeah.
always wearing
straw hat
hats.
overalls without a shirt, you know, like
Never those welding mask,
you know.
like visors.
Those are disgusting.
I hate
But
those
that's-
so much. What are
they
you
just-
doing?
I'm so claustrophobic.
What are you
but-
doing, Darth Vader?
You should have to
just-
become a welder then.
Honestly, it's still debating it though. Like the money's good, but we like the theory basically posited is that in general our generation is not afforded certain luxuries that previous generations had. We're not afforded the luxury of travel. We're not afforded the luxury of leisure in the same way. And the thing that seems to be the draw of it is the fact that it's something that even though they're simple pieces and they can come relatively cheap, to us they signify opulence. And especially if you are LGBTQ plus, first of all, up until 2 years ago in the United States, it was legally allowed for workplaces to discriminate against you and to refuse to hire you, which is absolutely disgusting. There's also a higher rate of things like homelessness because people get kicked out for stuff like this. So we wind up in a place where we sort of value this illusion of opulence. And I think that's something that the LGBTQ plus community has always touched on, ever since, like, as long as there's documentation of things like that, I think one of the best examples of that is in Paris is Burning, when they talk about the ball scene and about, you might not have the money to go out and have a nice dinner, but you can go out and swipe a good outfit, and for a night you're Cinderella.
Exactly.
And I think very much the idea of trying to have a life that is not given to us is very much a part of the queer experience, in my experience anyway.
And honestly, I find that when I dress up like I'm bi, quote unquote, it's way cheaper.
He is bi, for the record. That sounded like he was just
I know that
shitting
sounded
on
like
bi.
yeah, that sounded like
I meant like quote unquote
because you were
this
saying it in
look,
quotations.
this look.
Yeah, the aesthetic of,
Yeah.
of it
A
all.
bi
But I
aesthetic,
can just
Yeah.
right?
I can just go to a
You have
Goodwill.
Do I really?
Yeah, you wear flannels every day. You look super
That's
bi.
a
It's
bi
weird.
aesthetic?
I was so confused
And you
when
cuff
I found
your
out you were-
jeans.
Yeah, and you cuff your jeans. I was so, like, not always, but
cuff my jeans.
but-
They come like this.
I was so confused to find out you weren't bi, because I first saw you and I was like, he dresses like a stereotypical lesbian.
This is news to me.
Like, I've dated chicks that dress like you, so I was just like, okay, like...
I'm sorry. This is the first time hearing of this. I've never felt like I dress like a bi person.
Oh, 100%.
That really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, it's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, like, I mean, we have better...
I like my style.
Yeah,
I think I rock it.
we're very
Wait.
fashionable people.
Oh yeah, this is
you
now a
could take
fashion podcast
Yeah.
now.
You could take a few notes from me and Kieran, especially Kieran and his eleganza.
No,
of,
I'm sorry. Out of
of
okay, I
polo
mean this with
shirt
love,
and-
because I agree with you. Gay people really do know how to like dress
we
themselves.
we invented the fashion
You really
industry
did,
as it
like,
is
honestly.
today,
But you dress
and yet are
awful.
excluded from it.
I do.
Kieran,
And actually,
you dress like a conservative dad.
no, honestly, I'm trying to change my look right now.
I know he's been telling me for like the past like couple
no,
weeks he wants
yeah,
to change his whole look
We've
again.
been talking about it.
Because
that's
it's just-
expensive.
You're right. I look like I'm at a barbecue.
You really do.
Yeah. Okay, so we got sidetracked.
Yeah, we got
when you
sidetracked.
dress quote unquote bisexual.
Yeah, I dress bisexual.
No, I'm saying when Kieran dresses
He dresses bisexual.
bisexual. So
Yeah.
you were saying something about
Yeah.
how what that
Yeah.
does to your identity.
And basically, you can go to a Goodwill and get all these pieces for like $20,
Absolutely.
and then you have a whole look.
Yeah, and a lot of the time too, these are more size inclusive as well, because traditionally, I feel like a lot of the time when people associated the Hawaiian shirt aesthetic with any type of person, it usually was bigger people. So it means that you can get them in a wide variety of sizes. It's something that is very easily accessible, and other than that, it's pieces you already have, or like a flannel. Flannels are easily accessible. They come in a wide variety of sizes.
That's why I got like 30 of them.
Exactly.
Different colors, ladies.
Ooh la la.
The ladies love colors.
The ladies love flannels.
They love the colors.
They love flannels.
Oh
They
my
love
God, you're
flannels.
wearing plaid?
Ooh. I
Whoa.
love a man in plaid.
Wow, is that another flannel?
You look like a hipster lumberjack.
It is. It's just gray and red.
Devin looks like he's like a man bun away from being the most expensive.
I want a man bun.
You look like
You're a man bun away from being a barista.
I was right about to say either the most overpriced bartender in this town. Or like you're about to just like make a really fire burger at somewhere where I again spend too much money. If I see a guy like you at any place of business, I know I'm about to spend way more than it's worth, but it's gonna be fine.
Oh, yeah, I'm always
His
upselling
burger
where I
has
work.
arugula on it.
No, I'm always upselling at work. I'm always trying to get these people to spend. Make the sales.
Yeah,
But,
you look
man,
like a
this is-
mixologist.
What?
You look like a mixologist.
You just
I
need to
love that
twist your
thing.
mustache.
Oh my god!
I used
yeah.
to.
No, I
you
remember
guys-
back in the day.
Yeah, I had.
Yeah.
I would twist it every once in a while.
Yeah.
Just like,
But-
my beard's a little bigger now, so it's harder to like see it and appreciate it. And also, I just need to retrain it again.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say one thing.
Okay, because I
about
also
the
have
movie.
one more point.
The dinner scene, the whole dinner
Oh
sequence.
God, the dinner
It's
scene is
hilarious.
phenomenal.
It just
there's-
kept getting worse.
Yeah, and it's well thought humor. That's
Yeah.
the best part about it. it's goofy and it's silly, so it doesn't feel like it's doing anything crazy, but it does. And Nathan Lane with the hello
Dude, I
gets
nearly
me
fell out of my
every fucking
seat
time.
when he came into the door. First off, I thought you were in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Where the fuck
Yeah.
did you come from?
I'm
in a
sorry,
whole
I'm
outfit?
late.
He came out in a whole outfit. Because and the thing
With
is,
the
I
pink
was saying it that like,
suit.
bro, like I was saying it too. I was like, couldn't you just make Nathan Lane drag? Like he's a drag queen. Like,
Yeah.
just dress him as a girl. We don't need to get a wife. Like he could just be the wife, like he already is.
Yeah.
Just dress him more feminine, look like a woman a little more.
A little
That's
less
what I was.
drag queenie.
That's what. Well, less drag queen, more. I guess more just.
I think in
honeypot
fairness,
women.
the
or just like.
I
And
was
I
supposed to say honeypot.
No. I meant like you know what like it's like
Yeah. No, I think
honeypot isn't like what they do in like FBI.
I feel
shit.
like but
Espionage.
no, I know what you're talking about. I'm just saying in this instance.
In this instance, don't say that.
Yeah. But no, I think it's just that the horrible homophobic son did not want to have him clocked.
No, because he didn't think it would the senator
Yeah,
would buy it. But guess what?
exactly.
He was all over her.
Like
Like
they
the
were
whole
singing, they were playing
dancing,
piano.
drinking,
Oh, yeah.
talking
God, so
about
good.
fucking policies and shit.
Just
It was glorious.
brilliant.
It was hilarious because I was like, bro, I hope this ends with him cheating on his wife and kissing this lady,
Okay,
kissing
so-
Nathan Lane.
so
that
now
would have
I
been
have-
so awesome. It would have been just full circle.
I went
Oh,
from
yeah.
having 2 things I would improve upon this movie to having 3 because now I want that.
You want that, right?
Yeah,
That's
3
what I was thinking
yeah.
the whole time.
3
like,
things
this
I would
has gotta
improve upon
end
the
with
script.
Them getting like super drunk.
Yeah.
Everyone losing track of them. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
And then them just them being in like a closet somewhere and making out.
Yep.
Or something.
I'm so here
Beautiful.
for it.
That would have been so awesome.
Oh yeah. So
But I'll take him being dressed as a drag queen
Yeah.
any day.
absolutely.
That was awesome.
That was great.
We family. Don't leave me to dance alone.
I love that. No, the one other critique I have that admittedly is kind of a weighted one is the fact that, we touched upon earlier how Nathan Lane's character is a little bit more sort of
Exaggerated.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with being exaggerated by any means, but it's very clear which member of this couple is meant for comedic relief.
Yeah.
And it's not a surprise to me, and I wish it were, that it happens to be the femme person. Because more often than not, people who are assigned male at birth, who portray themselves in a more feminine way for one reason or another, are the butt of jokes. And I think that it is telling of how our society views things like that we didn't really get as many opportunities to feel for and with Nathan Lane as we did with Robin Williams. And I will say, I think it was good. I think it was a really well done movie, but it wasn't flawless, and that's one of the things that bothers me about it.
That is a good point because I felt more connected to Robin Williams' character than I did with Nathan Lane. Even though I sympathize with him in a lot of ways, but there was just no connection there because he is the comedic relief and he's this exaggerated version of a drag queen.
Yeah.
Of a drag queen, and it's just like he's a cool character. It's funny, but there's no connection there. It's just it's a character.
Absolutely.
It goes beyond the point. Like in some movies, you'll see an actor play. Everyone's playing a role, but it goes beyond the past of where you can actually get past the fact that it's an actor and this is an actual person.
Yes.
Like Robin Williams' character,
Yes,
I can see that as an
absolutely.
actual person.
Absolutely.
Unlike Nathan Lane, I don't really know anyone that could be like that.
And I think for me, I do because of the community that I've existed in for so much of my life.
In a realistic
But
way, do you know someone exactly like Nathan
I mean,
Lane?
I don't know someone exactly like Robin Williams in it either.
But
for
you
that
just
matter.
you said
But-
that you described all those people, all the little more modern, older gay guys who dress like Robin
and
Williams.
even young gay guys dress like Robin
That's
Williams
true.
nowadays. Like
That's
how many 19-year-olds with push broom mustaches?
Believe it or not, I
and,
actually work with a dude. He has a push broom mustache,
yeah.
but he's as hetero as can fucking be.
That's the thing. I feel like it started as a gay trend.
I
and it's
would
moved
not
in
be
its way.
surprised if he came out and he was gay.
Well,
I
there
would
you
not
go.
be. I won't say
There you
names, but I won't be surprised.
If I had the ability to put
Let's
music
dox
into
him.
this,
Let's dock him. Let's dox him.
If I had
Let's
no
talk-
the
Talk him
music into this, I put my favorite push broom mustache on, getting by from.
I had a push broom mustache.
You did have a push broom
I had
mustache.
a push broom mustache
Yeah.
for a minute.
But
Getting by from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend
yeah.
is the anthem
Oh,
of
it's
being
so
bi.
good. It's so good. Also, like, I mean, Jameson has such a huge crush on Daryl
Kieran.
in that show. Jesus, Kieran. And I was like,
I got you,
I'm
man.
going to do it right this time. And then I fucking did not.
I know.
You switched over pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You
You
did.
called him Jameson this whole time.
I called him Kieran like twice.
No, you got a good couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
All right, so well, sorry, go ahead and finish your point
Yeah,
because we do have to
absolutely.
move on to the other
yes.
movie.
So the other thing I was going to talk about is just the fact that, you know, when we were going over these movies, one thing that was really stressful for me was the fact that because I'm someone who I came out at a pretty early age. I was barely 15 when I first came out. So a lot of my life has kind of been exposure to this world and this culture, and that was such an annoying noise, and I tried working through it, but I feel like I have to acknowledge it.
I'm sorry. I
No,
tried to keep going about
absolutely,
it.
absolutely.
I hope we picked that up.
We did.
There was
We did.
just this
We did.
loud.
Absolutely did. No, I could see it as I was talking, just go across the bar. Yeah. Uh-huh. Absolutely. But one thing that I Jesus Christ.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's funny.
We're
That's
children.
the problem. We are children. We're very new to this.
Yeah.
But
Actually,
know,
I'm not. This is my second one.
yeah, but like
That
I mean,
sucked,
to this
though.
setup,
Love
and
you,
to
Casey.
the way
This is
we're
our
doing
second
this,
one.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
But in fairness, that was garbage.
I still have it.
I know. But anyway, what I was going to say is that as someone who is a lover of movies, as someone who is an openly queer person, I found myself really struggling with this, and I like trying to figure out a movie because, you know, I found myself in a situation where I was like, oh, Paris is Burning, because, you know, that had such a massive cultural impact. Not without its flaws in what the film crew and how things were portrayed to the people in it, but Paris is Burning is a really good way of, like, it would have been a really good movie. I also debated something like Luca to talk about queer coding because I think that's a really interesting subject.
The animated movie?
Yeah. Oh, it's heavily
There's
queer
a
coded.
lot.
Is it really?
So heavily queer coded.
I've only seen the end.
No,
Disney
there's a
insists
lot
that
of
it
it.
isn't. It's the gayest thing on two legs. It's so weird. Or I guess two fins.
Yeah. With the dorsal fin going,
Trash.
That probably didn't pick
That
up
did
on
not.
audio.
Yeah, no, they couldn't pick up the sound of your wrist. That was
He
not-
went.
Yeah, that's what gay people sound like to Kieran. They just go.
Yo, like all my gay friends sound like that.
Yeah.
They all sound.
Hey, so anyway, what I was gonna say. But you know, there's a wide variety of movies that we could have talked about. This wound up being my pick because I feel like if we're talking about movies that are more accessible to more people, I feel like this is a really good place to start. I would not end it there, but one place I might end it is popping over to Devyn's movie.
Oh yeah, of course. That was a hell of a segue, by the way.
Thank you.
That was
You were
great.
surprised by it, which
Yeah.
I did not realize. I'm so sorry. I was too good at segueing, and I did not give Devyn
No,
a chance
that was
to
great
prepare.
though. So the next movie we're going to be talking about is Moonlight from 2015. It is directed and written by Barry Jenkins. Stars Masha. Okay, forgive me. I always
I
mess
will
up
not
this
forgive
guy's
you.
name. Mahershala Ali.
You should do like a
I've never heard it pronounced
pronunciation
that
guide next time.
Probably that's. Probably
I
a good
wrote it
idea,
on my
actually.
notes. I did not.
Yeah.
Like
I
how to
probably
pronounce
should've-
it.
Yeah,
in
you
your
know what?
notes.
That's what I should have done. I apologize, sir, and to everyone.
He's a phenomenal.
And then, he's a great actor. I love him though. And then Trevante Rhodes, Ashton Sanders, and Naomi Harris, who I did not know she was the black girl from 28 Days Later. If you
Yeah.
guys have
Oh,
seen
yeah?
that.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
No, I recognized her when I was watching.
Well,
it.
no, well,
Like,
the
yeah.
second viewing, I recognized it now. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, dude, yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
That tripped me out. So this movie follows a young black man. I almost said, I wasn't sure if I should say boy or man.
Well, he was
But
a boy and then
and
becomes a man.
yeah, so
It
this
follows
this young black child.
a young black person through his life.
Yeah, it follows him through his life, realizing his sexual orientation and also being comfortable with himself. You see him in 3 stages of his life. They're separated in chapters, where he's like a little kid, then when he's in high school, and then as a full-grown adult, in different phases of his life. Yeah, that's basic. I would say that's basically it.
Yeah.
And he meets a lot of interesting people and deals with a lot of bigotry and bullying and other issues along the way through this movie. So this is my second viewing of the movie. I believe this is also yours as well, right?
Yep.
And Jim,
This is my first.
Kieran, this is your first time watching it. So what was your thoughts?
Well, I think it's awesome how it detracts from stereotypes, basically, where you have the opportunity to be filled with stereotypes throughout the whole movie, and they move away from it in every chance they get.
Well, and actually, that's actually kind of interesting because they do lean into the fact that there's trapping going on. It sounds so white. There's a lot of like, I'm gonna call him Ali.
Yeah.
Or his name was what was his name? I'm trying.
His name was Shanice, I think.
No. I'm not sure.
I'm
Ali
so
guy.
tired. I was
Hold up,
half
wait.
asleep
I had
when we
it.
were
I had
watching
it.
it.
I got it.
Like
I got it.
the second time around.
Hold up, I got it right here, everyone. Sorry, I didn't put this in my notes. What a great show.
Yeah, I'm
but
sorry.
yeah.
Way to be prepared for class.
Who is his name?
We're gonna come
Juan.
off so stupid.
It was
Juan.
Juan.
Oh, I didn't talk about like if you described him, that was
No,
the
no,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
that was the one
the
character
guy
I
who
could
couldn't
remember.
say. I could say the other people's names like Trevante Rhodes, Ashton Sanders, Alex R. Hibbert.
That's fair.
Those are all the
That's
kids
also-
that played in
Yeah.
the same character. Chiron. Oh, it's spelled like that. Okay, so there is a chapter called Chiron. I thought it was Chiron, which is a Greek mythology thing.
Yeah.
What?
And I was wondering if that was if that played in, but never mind. I'm an idiot. So yeah, it's the one thing I really liked about the movie. I'm gonna get into the review now.
Yeah.
One thing I really liked about the movie was that they really did. They used different actors to play this same character in 3 different stages of their life. Which honestly, I started thinking about it more when I was watching it this time. This movie is what Boyhood should have been.
Absolutely.
If anyone
see.
has seen Boyhood, made by Richard
Yeah.
Linklater, I hate that movie.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the worst, most overrated movies I have seen in a long time because it does relatively the same thing.
Yeah.
Except in that one, nothing happens.
Yeah, I think the problem with Boyhood, and there's something that
This movie does right.
Yeah.
Is stuff happens.
Absolutely.
There's a struggle.
Yeah.
There's an inner struggle that the kid is having with himself of being comfortable with himself, which I really not only just him being black and having to deal with the other shit, but he's also gay.
Yeah.
While in fucking Boyhood,
Yeah.
this kid's just a pretentious asshole.
Yeah.
He goes into a pretentious asshole, and there's really no issues throughout the movie. While this one, this kid deals with being picked on for being different. It's
Yeah.
called Different at first. And
Yeah.
then, he befriends a drug dealer. His mom gets into crack. Then he gets older and he starts getting beaten up at school. He has his first gay experience
Yeah.
in high school with his friend who he had no idea was gay.
And honestly, what a touching scene.
Oh, it was such
so beautiful.
It's a really well done scene where they're just sitting in the moonlight, the beach. It's all sweet. They just lean into each other after smoking and just kiss. Gives him a little handy. It's not, and it's not even graphic.
No,
other than the part I didn't realize this the last time is when he comes.
Yep.
And then it's in his hand.
Yeah,
and
that was too much for me.
And then he wipes it in the sand.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like.
But I think
was kinda artsy.
Yeah, I think it was
appreciated
artsy.
that.
It felt like when you are young, when you're a teenager and you have your first sexual experience, or when you're older than being a teenager potentially, but you're clunky. You don't know what you're doing.
You don't
And
really
there's
even know what
something-
you're supposed to
Yeah,
feel.
there's something so awkward about being in that situation, and I think that moment touches on that.
Yeah,
in a
and
way.
that goes off the sweet moment that you're talking, the sweetness of the scene
Yeah.
that you're talking about, because it's like it
It's
happens,
nostalgic.
and then he just goes, "You have nothing to apologize for," and then he just
Yeah.
cleans off, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Exactly.
And it was that whole scene it's really well done. A lot of
yeah.
this movie is well done. I love that you guys know me. You guys know me. I love a good, well shot movie with some fantastic cinematography.
God,
and
the lighting.
The lighting.
The lighting. Can we just talk about the lighting? Like
how it goes from a blue to yellow. It's a lot of blues and yellows with the hint of pink every once in a while, but this movie's very heavy with the blues and yellows.
But it's like even in the bullying scene, like the crispness, like when he's a kid and he's playing like the soccer with the kids and all, like the crispness of the grass and all of that, like just
very desaturated.
Oh my God, it doesn't feel like real life, but it also feels like you could reach out and touch it.
Yeah, and the way, and that's the one thing I will say, since you brought up like authenticity, almost like the realness of that scene. I also love the writing in this movie because it felt so real, and I'm certain the actors that they had in it had a part to play in it. But the writing in this movie is done so fucking well, and it just seems so realistic. Like the scene when he comes home from Joanne Monet's character's place. And his mom's like out there, like, "Hey, baby," all cracked out, and then she's just begging for money, freaking out, and you're getting his point of view of her, and it's like, it's such a it's a really uncomfortable scene.
Yeah,
like it's really uncomfortable watching that moment where when she's like frisking him basically to get any sort of cash off him so she can go get a fix.
And as the child of an addict, that to me was so relatable, while admittedly more dramatic than what things like that tend to go through, tend to actually be like. There was something that was just so
visceral,
right? Absolutely, and so just true to at least my experience of you're the child in this situation, but you're simultaneously being the one who's exploited, being the one who's taken advantage of, being the one who you're expected for whatever it is you have, whether it's money, whether it's, your emotional capabilities, your obedience, whatever it is. You are expected to be the provider in situations where you should not be, and it's wrong, and he knows it's wrong.
Yeah.
But he doesn't, it's like...
He can't do anything.
Yeah, he can't do anything, and it's almost like he doesn't fully conceptualize that there's anything else.
No. And that's the one thing I really liked about the movie too.
Yeah.
Is with Naomi Harris's character, you actually start seeing like the decline of her just her decline.
Yeah.
Of her, because like when he comes home one day as a kid, there's no TV, and they make like a big deal about the TV. And there's no TV because you know why? She's out buying it, using the money she sold it for crack.
Absolutely.
And then there's that awful moment, that really awkward moment where Juan is like he's checking on his guy on the corner. He's making sure everything's okay, and he sees a couple people lighting up, and he's like, "What the hell? We're letting people light up." He walks down there. It's the fucking boy's mom he's been taking care of. He's been helping out with and hanging out with, and then there's just an argument, and it's just kind of weird, and there's just this weird moral compass, like this morality issue that they have, where it's like, "Oh yeah, I'm fucking doing it, and it's my kid, even though it's my kid, and I'm doing it. You're the one selling it to me. You think you're better than me, and this and that." And I'm like. And Juan doesn't say a word. No. Because he knows, she's right. Yeah. I can't really say anything. Yeah. All he could do, which she realized that by the end of the conversation, was, I'm just not going to sell to you. Yeah. But the thing is, there's so many other people she can get it from. Yeah, exactly. And it sucks. Yeah. And then it sucks. And it's awesome, though, because that dude, I love that actor. I'm not going to try to say his name again. The guy who plays Juan. Yeah, I like him so much, and he makes such a big impact in Chiron's character and in the movie itself. I feel he's really only in the first chapter because then I guess he dies off screen.
Yeah.
They meant the bullies, the guys who pick on Chiron at high school bring it up because they're all making fun of him because he's hanging out with his old homegirl or whatnot. That scene, that's another scene that sucks.
It's
where they force Kevin to beat his ass.
Yep.
Like,
that fucked me up.
There's some good acting by that kid who played the young Kevin because you could see it. You see it in his eyes. It's like, oh fuck, dude.
That's one thing that I could not get over is how good the child acting was. Dude. For typically child acting is rough, and I don't expect better from children. You know, like I don't expect children to be good at having a job.
No.
But those kids are so talented.
Oh yeah, especially when they get into the high school.
Absolutely.
Like don't get me wrong, the young Chiron and the young Kevin are really done well.
But there is less complexity to their characters.
No, of course.
Like
kids, there's no complexity. But when you get to that part, that particular scene, after they just had their moment at the beach, and then we go right into like him being forced to whoop Chiron's ass.
Yeah.
Like damn. Like fucking it. And then afterwards Chiron just loses it.
Yeah.
He just loses it, and he just like I love that whole bit where it's the day after, and he just beelines.
Yep.
He beelines into the school, and he's walking down the hall,
yep.
and he knows he's getting close to the classroom. And I like when the because the whole time you're seeing behind him, but then the camera like cuts to in front of him, and you notice like he slows his pace a little bit.
Yep.
Where there's that slight hesitation, where he's just like, should I really do this? Can I do this? I think it was more, can I do this?
Yeah.
And then he picks it up again, like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do this. And he walks in, fucking picks up the chair and just, bah!
Yeah.
Smashes over the dudes with the dreads? I always get this shit messed up.
I was going to say, I think so. I don't.
It's not braids. No. I know that's not braids. I think they may be more dreads.
I honestly, I cannot visualize the guy's hair right now. The kid's hair right now.
But you know the guy I'm talking about. The main dude that was starting all the shit.
Yeah.
And then when he gets arrested, you kind of just see, and he gets shipped off to Atlanta. He kind of just jumps into what Juan was doing. The guy who took in for him, which I thought that was pretty cool. And it made a lot of sense for that character to just follow. And then he just got yacked.
Yoked,
swole,
shredded.
That man was put together.
Like
what is his name? Trevante, not Adams, right? Is it Adams?
He went full beefcake.
He went full beefcake. Trevante Rhodes, who I've seen him. He was in Birdcage or Bird Box.
I was gonna say
not Birdcage, Bird Box.
Yeah.
I think he was like 12 when Birdcage came out.
Yeah.
But he was in Bird Box. He plays the George or something. Paul.
Sure, why not?
I don't remember. He plays the cop that ends up. He plays. Wait, he wasn't even a cop in that. He's just the black dude that Sandra Bullock hooks up with. They raise the kids together. Yada yada yada.
Yeah,
whatever.
Very talented actor. I would like to see him in more things.
Yeah, he's really good, honestly, and he was really good in this character. Where near the end, where he's had this tough guy exterior for like the longest time, but near the end, like the last thing he says to like really open himself up to Kevin finally, which is like, I haven't even let anyone touch me since.
Yeah,
it's like,
you're the last man that ever touched me.
You're the last man that ever touched me. Or
you're the only man that ever touched me. That was it. That really got me. And I think that kind of expands upon, because I think what Kieran was saying was not necessarily wrong, but kind of sounded clunky as if they were avoiding stereotypes. But I think that gets into the trueness of it all. And by the way, like just to throw it out there also, we're talking about a movie that focuses heavily on race, centers a black protagonist. No one here is black.
No, let's be straightforward here. We're the furthest thing.
I try to be.
Don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
let's not go down there.
But I think the thing that to me feels like I think I know what you're talking about is the fact that they do touch on they don't touch on the movie is centered around the existence of these stereotypes why do these stereotypes exist? What does it mean to try to counter these stereotypes? You know, and they don't force anyone into a stereotype. They just allow people to exist.
And that's the thing about Chiron's character, because he seems like the polar opposite of those stereotypes.
Yeah.
But of course, when he leaves all of it and goes somewhere else, he jumps right back into it.
Yeah.
Because it's all he all he
knows. Yeah.
It's all he knew.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, as soon as he ran into the Kevin when he's older, you know, he opened up, and it just seems like, it ends right there. It kind of ends abruptly.
Yeah.
That was actually, I'm going to go back to Birdcage real quick. That was my issue. It ended way too abruptly. But I do appreciate they kept on with the wedding at the credits.
Yeah.
But, like, it ends somewhat abruptly, and it ends really nice, though, this movie.
And I like that it ends abruptly because it's a movie about someone's life. So what we're seeing is specifically his journey with his relationship to race, which, again, like, we can only really touch on, we can't really get into, but also his relationship with his gender and sexuality. And I feel like to me anyway, it feels like the reason it cuts off there is because we know that from here, or at least it feels like they're cueing, it feels like they're cueing that, just because you were like, this is his journey.
Oh, yeah, I didn't say anything.
Sorry,
I'm sorry, I didn't say that
Devyn
into the mic.
totally just spoke away from the mic.
He's been doing that a lot, actually.
I have. I'm sorry.
But, you know, I think when we end it there, it says, like, he's going to find himself again. Because we see him as a kid able to find himself, comfortable-ish with himself. And the issue is that everyone around him is uncomfortable with him.
See, and that's kind of what I took from that ending, too. Because I remember... I love that scene where Juan takes him to the beach and they're swimming.
It's so beautiful.
And it's such a beautiful scene where they're, you know, he's just telling them, like, just hang out, just let loose, all right?
Yeah.
You feel that? It's the center of the world. And the whole world's ahead of you right there. And that's kind of like, and that was the whole symbolism of the movie.
Yeah.
Right there, that whole scene was like, it's like swimming in the middle of the ocean. Your life is like swimming in the middle of the ocean. You just got to find yourself out there. Like, keep going. You're going to hit waves and stuff, and waves that are going to fuck with you. But you just got to learn to take them and then just keep swimming and keep going until you find somewhere where you're happy and comfortable.
Absolutely.
You know? And that moment, like, and that was something I picked up this second viewing, was that. And I was like, and then you pointed out right now the whole ending bit, and I was like, that fucking makes sense, because now he's just going to go back on that journey again.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
After the second chapter, after what happened, he just went back to doing what he had to do.
Exactly.
You know, he didn't really go to find himself, unlike Kevin, who really did. He didn't. Chiron didn't do that. And now Kevin's like trying to show him the way and give him a guidance, and give him that push,
Yeah.
to find
like
himself,
a gentle push.
like a gentle push, and that final shot of him as a kid again at the ocean, at the beach, but this time by himself because Juan's not around anymore. And he just looks back. It's like it's awesome. It's
gorgeous.
It's
like,
a gorgeous
really
shot.
And
or the bit where the mom keeps walking back and forth in the pink room.
Oh, jeez. But
I felt like that was like almost symbolic of just like his life holding him back from who he really is.
Absolutely.
As weird, because pink is, it's weird because like pink is a feminine. You can. It's been identified as a more feminine color, even though I think pink's kind of a cool color.
It's a really cool color. Also, femininity is cool. So
femininity is cool.
The way you said that implied that it isn't.
Well, I was just trying to like. I didn't want to like step on toes.
Yeah.
See, femininity is cool. So write that down.
Write that down. I'll write that. I got my notebook right here.
Jot that down in your little
my little notebook, which says
in
like
a handy dandy notebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, cause she like first it starts off with him as a kid, and she's like yelling at him. You can't hear what she's saying until later, and then she just like creeps into that pink room, and then it happens later again where he's like coming out, and I think that's right after that. That little bit happens right after, with the beach scene with Kevin, right?
Yes,
where
I believe
where it cuts back to him like her coming out of the room, right?
Yeah.
But then immediately it comes the same thing. it goes back to like the initial shot, and it's this time you hear her yelling, "Don't look at me!"
Yeah.
And it cuts to him waking up as an adult. It's a really phenomenal
it's really,
movie.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting because our takeaways from the symbolism are actually different in both of the things you talked about.
I like to hear yours.
So, like, I agree about like the whole feeling, like, with the pink room thing. I agree with your whole feeling of like trapness and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I also think pink is the color of femininity, and his primary feminine role model is someone who scares him. And the men in his life frequently alienate him if he does not conform to a certain type of masculinity. So I feel as if he's almost meant to be threatened by femininity. And it feels like throughout this movie, we see this journey of someone who he has a feminine side naturally. We see that in him as a child where, he does things that are not necessarily feminine, but not what's considered traditionally masculine.
There's that quick bit of where they're at dance class. It's a dance class, and he's killing it.
Absolutely.
He's out there cutting a rug, and all the other boys are just like, what the fuck?
Exactly. And I think in a lot of ways, because this is a movie that very much is about someone who is struggling to find his relationship with society's expectations of him versus what he wants to be and what he feels is true to himself. And I think in a lot of ways that aspect of there being something that pink is often seen as a more comforting color. It's often seen as a lot of different things because it is feminine,
it does seem
terrifying almost.
Yeah, this movie, it's kind of used as like what a normally would be a red light.
Yeah,
it's used like that where
exactly.
it's hinting at like a threat.
Exactly.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I can see that.
That was my take on it anyway. And then for the ocean, like I wholeheartedly agree that the movie was explicit about that aspect of it, but
of finding yourself.
Of finding yourself. But I think at the same time, there's also a lot to be said about what water.
Sorry,
I almost said bless you, but it was a cough. But yeah. But I think there's something to be said for what water symbolizes in a grander scheme of things. Because
in movies, it represents rebirth.
But also there's weightlessness. There's, he's not being weighed down by everything society's expecting of him, but simultaneously, he's also in a situation where if he doesn't handle things right, he could drown.
Yeah. It's
something that can free you. It can make you feel lighter than air, but it could kill you so fast.
It keeps him grounded because you notice whenever something happens, he always finds himself either putting his head in the sink of ice water or sitting in the tub and whatnot. He's always water plays a big role in the movie.
Absolutely.
And I see that as it's more for him to be grounded and more try to be neutral.
Yes.
In a lot of ways. So quickly. So those are reviews of Birdcage and Moonlight. Before we go, we got to figure out between the three of us, better movie. What's the best movie out of the two? We will have more.
Moonlight.
Yeah.
Okay.
You like Moonlight?
All right. I think for me it's difficult because if I'm going on something that I would watch again and again, Birdcage hands down. But if I'm going off of things that I can sit and analyze and challenge me, it's got to be Moonlight. I would say that comparing the two of them is like comparing apples and crowbars. It's not even oranges. They're not.
No, yeah, these are two very different movies made in different times and really about different things, honestly, but relatively in the same realm.
Absolutely, yeah.
I really enjoyed Birdcage. I found myself laughing a lot.
Yeah.
And just seeing a lot of weird, strange similarities of how people viewed gay people and just how cool Florida was at some point.
Oh, Miami apparently is still kind of like that, by the way.
Was it really?
Yeah, apparently that's like a Miami vibe.
Oh, all right. But I think I just appreciated Moonlight a little better.
Yeah. I would say so. I would say it's not as flawed of a piece. It's not weighed down by age. I was actually
really trying to with the second viewing.
Yeah.
I was really actually trying to find something negative about the movie.
I think part of it is it leaves it so open to interpretation that whatever you want it to be, within reason, like whatever you want the symbolism to be, whatever you want the takeaway to be, it kind of is.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the thing. Like when you said you had a different viewpoint about like the symbolism of a lot of the stuff. You're not wrong, because I can definitely see where you're coming from with that, and I totally see it.
Yeah, and I see everything you say too. It's so open that way,
and it makes me want to get another person in here. Like we got to get Jay in here, who
is a
also,
movie person.
He's a movie person.
He's not like Kieran.
I don't know why I looked at you.
I'm supposed to be in the background, okay?
Yeah.
I know.
That's what I was told.
I know.
Yeah.
We like having you around.
He's guesting today. He's
I'm
not going to be the norm.
But yeah, so I think so your choice was you don't have a choice.
I don't because they're so different. They do different things for me,
all
you know.
All right. So
but
I think we'll just
I would say I would give it up to Moonlight in being a better picture.
Okay. So for this week, our first episode, our best movie was Moonlight. But not by much, because Birdcage is a fantastic movie. These are both movies you definitely need to check out, guys. Also, support your LGBT people, guys. They need it right now. It's getting rough out there, and everybody should be comfortable with who they are or who they want to love and who they want to be.
Shield your gays.
Shield the gays.
Protect us at all costs.
Yes, protect them at all costs.
People are trying to bury their gays, and I'm right fucking here, okay?
All right, so those are great final thoughts. Kieran, do you have any final thoughts?
Not really.
No.
I'm shocked.
I'm shocked.
Well, see,
okay. We're gonna get him on an actual show where he's gonna review something with us.
I'll say this. I think Moonlight is more of like a solid picture altogether.
You're just repeating.
Yeah, I was gonna say I already said that.
Just said that.
I'm just saying.
We'll come back to you another time.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. If you haven't ran off because of the insanity that ensued. But thank you, guys. We're going to be trying doing this a little bit more frequently. Maybe bi-weekly, weekly. We'd like to do weekly, but...
I prefer bi-weekly.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Just because Pride Month is over doesn't mean bi-weeks don't also count.
I hate it here.
I
now.
broke Devyn.
I'm giving up. I'm giving
Devyn.
up now. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys in the next episode, and please keep watching movies. And everybody love everybody, to quote a movie. Everyone love everyone.
Beautiful. Bye.
Bye.